All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to crack open the latest intel on the biggest cyber threats out there right now, coming straight from the January 2026 Byer-Nichols Threat Brief. We're going to talk about the ghosts hiding in our systems, unmask the masterminds behind these attacks, and, most importantly, give you the playbook to fight back.
So let's kick things off with a story that really proves a point in cybersecurity. The past is never really dead and buried. Sometimes it comes back to haunt you. So check this out. This January, a Microsoft vulnerability got added to the known exploited vulnerability catalog by CISA. That's the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. But here's the twist, right? This security flaw, it's been around since 2009.
Yeah, you heard that right, 17 years. For almost 2 decades, this ghost was just hiding in the machine, a dormant threat, pretty much just waiting for attackers to finally find a way to use it as a weapon.
And you know, this quote from the report just hits the nail on the head. It brings us to a really critical insight right off the bat. Keeping your software updated isn't just some chore. It's literally your first line of defense against threats you don't even know exist yet.
Okay, so from old ghosts, let's switch gears and talk about the modern monsters of the digital world, the ransomware gangs. These are the main antagonists today, and for them, business is absolutely booming.
If you look at just the first half of January, you see the usual suspects, right? You've got Qilin, Akira, Tsunabi, and a few others, all battling it out for a bigger slice of the criminal pie.
But what's really fascinating here is the power dynamic. Qilin is the clear leader, responsible for 1 out of every 5 attacks. And when you lump them together with Akira and Tsunabi, wow, these top 3 gangs are behind nearly half of all ransomware incidents.
And believe me, these gangs have gotten a lot nastier. It's not just about locking your files anymore. They've pretty much perfected this brutal tactic called double-extortion. So, first they break in and steal your most sensitive data. Then they encrypt your systems. It's a 2-pronged attack. Pay us to get your files back, and pay us again so we don't leak all your secrets to the entire world.
So, with these sophisticated tactics, who are these criminal enterprises actually going after? Well, the data paints a very, very clear picture.
The #1 most targeted sector is manufacturing, followed by retail and construction. This shows a really strategic move toward industries that are critical to the physical supply chain. You know, you disrupt a factory and you disrupt the flow of actual real-world goods.
And while this is definitely a global problem, the focus is incredibly concentrated. An absolutely overwhelming 56% of victims are located right in the United States, with countries like Canada and several in Europe trailing way behind.
But this right here might be the most crucial takeaway of all. While the big headlines focus on major industries, over 80% of the victims are small businesses. This just completely dismantles that myth of, oh, we're too small to be a target. The reality is, being small is often what makes you the perfect target.
Okay, so we know who they're targeting. Now let's dig into how they're doing it. What kind of weapons are in the modern attacker's toolkit? Because it's not just ransomware anymore. The tools they're using are getting a lot stealthier and way more sophisticated.
First off, you've got these next-level adversaries, like APT41. Now, this is not your typical ransomware gang. This is a state-sponsored group that actually blends espionage, spying for a nation, with criminal tradecraft, all for profit. They are on a much higher level of threat.
And of course, their malware is evolving too. Just take a look at something like VoidLink. This is a highly advanced malware framework built specifically to live inside the cloud. It's designed to hide in the very same AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud systems that businesses rely on every single day.
And this slide really shows you the danger. VoidLink is like a chameleon. It can detect what cloud it's in, load over 30 custom tools on the fly, and then just blend in with legitimate operations to avoid being seen. It can steal credentials to move laterally, that means jumping from system to system inside your network, and then uses those machines as a launchpad for even bigger attacks.
So, when you're faced with 17-year-old ghosts and shape-shifting malware, how do you even begin to fight back? Well, the report doesn't just deliver a bunch of bad news, it actually gives us a really clear, actionable playbook for our defense. And the defense really comes down to 4 crucial actions. 1. Patch fast. You have to close those security holes, both the old ones and the new ones. 2. Enforce multi-factor authentication. This is absolutely non-negotiable. It stops stolen passwords from being an easy way in. 3. Segment your networks. Think of this like fire doors in a building. It contains a breach to just one area so it can't spread everywhere. And 4. Hunt for anomalies. You have to actively look for anything unusual before it becomes a full-blown crisis.
At the end of the day, the attackers never stop innovating. The threats are constantly evolving, from the ghosts of the past to the weapons of tomorrow. So the only question left is your shield up?